Today, we're going to do a review. So first things first, let's go back to what we started with. This is our base, and this is our exponent. The big number is going to be our base, and the little number is going to be our exponent. Now, we're going to move into expanding our exponent. So 4 to the 5th simply means we take 4 times itself 5 times. There's 5 4s we multiply there. Whereas if we were to take 5 to the 4th, we get 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Now, we'll do our multiplying numbers with exponents. So the numbers have the same base. It's very important that you have the same base. So numbers have the same base. And we get 5 to the 6 plus 3, which is then equal to 5 to the 9th. Same thing here. We're going to take negative 8 to the 3rd times negative 8 to the 4th. We have the same base of negative 8, so we get negative 8 to the 3 plus 4, which is negative 8 to the 7th. Our next set of problems are going to have to do with powers of a power. So all that means is we have a hanger. Now, as we've talked about, a hanger simply means you multiply. So we get 5 to the 4 times 3, which is then equal to 5 to the 12th. Move down, we have negative 3 to the 2 times 4, which is 8. And now we have n to the 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, so n to the 15th. Now, let's work with quotient of powers. So quotient of powers, as you probably remember, we're going to work to subtract our exponents. So our first one here is negative 3 to the 5 minus 2, which is then going to be negative 3 to the 3rd. So our answer here is negative 3 to the 3rd. Move on. We have 4 to the 9 minus 5. We subtract the top. We subtract the bottom from the top. So top minus the bottom. 9 minus 5. So we get 4 to the 4th. Now here, we get a little trickier. We get 5 to the 9th times 5 to the 6th. So we already talked about this. We add our exponents. Now this just comes along. Then we have 5 to the 14th over 5 to the 5th, which is then 5 to the 14 minus 5, which then is 5 to the 9th. Our next couple problems here look very similar to the last one. K to the 3rd times k to the 2nd, all over k. So all that means is we have k to the 3 plus 2, k to the 5th over k, which then is equal to k to the 5 minus that invisible 1, k to the 4th. Next, let's move on to this quotient of power and multiplication problem. 3 to the 5th over 3 to the 2nd. We know that is 3 to the 3rd, because that's 5 minus 2. Next, can't forget our little 1 here. 3 to the 3rd over 3 to the 1st, which is then 3 to the 2nd. Multiply those together, we get 3 to the 5th, because we're multiplying numbers with the same base, so we add the exponents. So now this is everything that we can do. It's just multiple steps. First things first, let's take care of that. 5 to the 9th times 5 to the 5th. So 9 plus 5, 5 to the 14, over 5 to the 7, times 5 to the 10th, over, now we do our multiplication here, 5 to the 5th times 5 to the 3rd. So then we add our exponents. 5 to the 5 plus 3, 8. So now, I'm going to move this down here. We have 5 to the 14 over 5 to the 7. Subtract our exponents. 5 to the 10th times over 5 to the 8th. 5 to the 2nd. So that now is equal to 5 to the 7th times 5 to the 2nd. 5 to the 9th.